I'm Wayne Thomas and we're here on the River Tor estuary in North Devon. The sun's just risen above Barnstable. It's an absolutely glorious morning. It is quite a cold, blustery northeasterly wind, but you can fish the estuary in pretty well any condition, and hopefully the flounder will be fairly obliging. They tend to feed as the tide floods in. Okay, we're using ragworm today as hook bait. You can dig ragworm in many locations along the estuary. I dug these ragworm yesterday. These tend to be a bit better if you put them on a bit of newspaper overnight, and they tend to toughen up a little bit. But basically it's a size 1 Aberdeen hook, and you put on a fair hook full of several ragworm so that they dangle in the water, which is quite attractive to the fish. What we also use when we're flounder fishing, we're using 2 hooks. And we nearly always put a lot of colourful beads on, because flounder are very inquisitive fish and they're attracted to colour and brightness. It's always important to backfill after you've finished digging, because that helps with the environment, because there are pollutants in the mud and that which can be released when you dig, and it's a lot safer if you backfill because it stops people falling in the holes. Another point is never dig near moorings. Boat owners, they're not going to appreciate it if you dig holes near where they've got boats. One of the real joys of fishing, of course, is the locations that it takes you to. And as you can see, if you look around here, it's a stunning location. There's lots of bird life. You get big flocks of geese moving in, and you've got the haunting cry of the curlew echoes across the estuary flats. It's very popular with anglers here, easy access, and hopefully a few fish. I've just seen the telltale rattle on the rod tip. It looks like we could have a flounder here. There's no hurry with flounder, they're quite obliging fish. Yes, we've got a fish on. We're using a light bass rod, so you can actually feel the fish. You can actually have some fun and use really light tackle for them, but as you can see, they do put a little bit of bend in the rod. And we've got a pleasing double shot. As you can see, the flounder in prime condition, really thick. They're fattening up, ready for the cold winter ahead. They're an easy fish to catch. It's an easy location, ideal place to bring the whole family down. We've succeeded in what we set out to do, and we're now heading off to another location on the North Devon coast. Grey mullet are probably one of the most prolific species along the coast, but they have a reputation for being extremely difficult to catch. But by scaling down and using freshwater type tactics, they can be relatively easy to catch, in fact. We're going to use bread flake, which is the traditional bait for mullet, because the mullet will very often play around with the bait for several minutes before they actually engulf the bait. And that's the moment you're waiting for with anticipation, just waiting for the rod tip to fold over when the fish actually takes the bait and the battle commences. Okay, behind we've got Ilfracombe Pier, which is a very popular place to fish. You can fish it for 3 hours each side of low tide. The pier has thrown up some really big fish. Divers used to go in under, and they always had tales of big conger that would lurk in the crevices and out under the pier. But in addition to that, you catch flatfish off there, and you catch cod in the winter, pouting, whiting, the inevitable dogfish, and the occasional ray. You can also catch grey mullet there in the summer, which is what we're fishing for today. So all in all, it's a very convenient place, because you can park just on the top and then just walk down and cast out. And at the back of the pier there's also an aquarium, so if you haven't caught anything, you can always go in and have a look and see what fish you may have caught. One of the key things you can always do is get your ordnance survey map, get your mobile phone, put on the compass, and then you can check the wind direction on the map. At the moment we're at Saunton, a mecca for surfers and holidaymakers during the daytime. But during the night, after the sun has set, big fish moving close into the surf to feed. One of Britain's most iconic sea fish, the bass, is targeted here, and bass over 15 pound have been caught from the beach here. So if you want to keep up with all the latest on legislation impacting upon bass fishing, if you visit the MMO's website or the Inshore Fisheries Committee website, you can find out all you need to know. For the latest news on fishing along the North Devon coast, visit North Devon Angling News, which will give you up-to-date information on what's being caught at the present time.